Ah.
Hi.
Hey, hello, Verah.
Hello, how are you?
We are fine. I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm Verah. Yeah, I work with Co-Health and Wealth. It's an NGO based in Kenya, western part of Kenya, that is in Bungoma. And so our activities are based in a rural community. Co-Health and Wealth has 5 pillars. And one of the pillars is environment. And so in environment, that is where we are addressing issues to do with water, climate change, making the environment friendly to the locals. And so everything that we are doing in the environment focuses on improving the livelihood of people in terms of their health and also accessing safe water. In the community, we have water initiatives. We have worked quite with a few organizations in this to make sure that our community people access clean water. And so among the activities that we are doing is how to conserve water and water sources. And so we mobilize the community members together with our volunteers. We have been able to conserve several water points. Those are springs, wells, and rivers, and even dams. And so we got a partner from German, Big Green. They have helped us to put up a water tower in one of the local dams that were lying idle. Now the tower is up, the water is up, the water is treated, and people in the community are able now to access clean water. In fact, it's serving the entire community. We have planted trees around that dam together with the community members. The dam was created several years ago, but it was neglected. But now we have gone back. We have made sure that the water does not run out when there is heavy rains. The community members have become part and parcel of the programs. There are several ways that we have taught them on how to treat water using the WADI devices, what we received from one of our partners. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so these water devices is using the solar light to treat water. Wow. Yes. So the device, you put the waters in bottles, then you put them outside in the sun. And so that device is able to, after some time, it has a facial expression. When there is a smiley face, that means the water is now safe for drinking. Wow. So the solar heat has been able now to treat the water, and so the water is safe. And so people are able to pour it into a bigger container and then again do the process all over. And so we have distributed 400 WADI devices. And so we are actually advocating that people get clean water. And also there is harvesting water. During the rainy seasons, the rain comes, the water get wasted. And once like a season like right now, there are no rains. And so people again start struggling to look for water. We have mobilized people and trained them. And so they are able now to get water tanks. So they are able to tap the rainwater from their roofs. Wow. Mm-hmm. And then that water, we help them do the treatment before they use it for drinking. And so there is quite a lot that is going on in the community in terms of training. There are also online trainings on water that people from Bollinger Engelhem offer to our people in the community. So we are talking about clean water and sanitation. And so every homestead has a washing point. So whenever you visit a toilet, we have trained even the children how to hand wash, even the family members, yes, hand washing, and also how to dry their utensils. And so locally they make drying racks for their utensils. Yeah. And so there's quite a lot that is going on in terms of environment. Yeah. And then we have advocated that every home we plant 10 trees. That is, yes, every home must have 10 trees, 5 indigenous trees and 5 fruit trees. And so through our organization, the agriculture department, we are able to, we have nurseries where we nurture the seedlings, then we are able to supply to the community for them to do the planting, and also in schools. So the Clean Water Initiative is not only in the community, we have done it also in schools. And so we really want that everyone accesses clean water in the community, because water is life. And if it is not well handled, it can also become harmful to human health. We have a team of around 25 volunteers that are working with the organization. But besides that, we work with several other stakeholders in the community who are in the government, and also who are community, community administrators. Yes. We work with schools. So the network is quite large.
Yes, I can imagine. But the fact that people, and especially kids, have to walk miles over miles with their canister, we want to include that, or we want to give that picture in the performance, that still some people, or I think a lot of people, have to walk and have to do that. Is that a topic for you also, that people or children have to walk, or in how far can you change this with all the good initiatives you started with the water tower, with the wells, the washing points that you mentioned?
Yes, in the community, usually it is the children and the women who go fetching the water. And so the long distances has to do with a woman, working all through in the farm, and afterwards coming with the scorching sun, going to look for water distances. And I believe that what you are talking about applies to our community. In fact, we were planning to have a marathon, even a marathon to support the dam, so for sustainability, that people can, run and raise funds so that now this water is able to reach homes, because so far, as much as the tower is up and people can fetch water, some people have to walk really long distances to come and fetch the clean water. And so what we are trying to do is, if we can raise also funds, so that now the water can get from the dam to people's homes. So that now that our children in the community will not have to leave school and go looking for water. The women will not be burdened and break their backs as they look for water, and their burden can be eased.
Yes, yes.
So one of our questions is also about the knowledge that African countries have that we may be far from. So what can we learn from you, from the countries?
Well, it's interesting that in the local communities, people have, from as much as they've not gone to school, they have the capacity and the ability to know where to source clean water for drinking and for cooking. And so they actually know the sources where very clean water can be sourced from for their household. And also they have separate sources for washing, and also for watering their animals and even the crops. but they know exact places where clean water can be accessed. And locally also, they know which plants, when planted along the water sources, act as purifiers to the water. And also another thing with the local wisdom is that they also have local ways of water filtration using clay. And so they have clay pots that they store their water because they don't have fridges. So the clay pots act as a fridge so that the water is cooled. And so when it's very hot, when you take water from the pot, the water is cold. And from the same clay, they have been able to make products that filter water actually. So you put water in some earthen vessel, then it's able to sip and you collect it under, and that now the water is very clean for drinking.
Wow.
So yeah, there is just interesting local wisdom in the communities with people who've not even stepped a classroom.
I have the experience here that these old wisdoms are not very accepted in the society. So you always have to prove something scientifically, and this kind of annoys me because sometimes you cannot prove things. And I would like to know from you if you have this experience too, if you had to defend somehow an indigenous wisdom in front of scientists or people who ignore this wisdom.
There is a struggle between the old knowledge and the people who have gone to school, because now the people who have gone to school have been told that you have to test things. But a local will tell you, I'm sure this thing works. And so there is that clash in knowledge between the elite and the locals. But then when now you go to the community, you begin from what they know, then gradually you are able now to introduce something new for ownership. Like now for us, working with initiatives to do with water, we didn't go like we know or we are the experts. First, we go and are able to look at what have you been doing? How has it been working for you? Will you want to embrace something still new, or will you want to add to the knowledge that you have? And so you discover that now there is a collaboration between the old and the new. And there is, like striking a balance between the two. And gradually now people start to get to learn that there is another way of doing things other than what we have always believed. When it is very dry, you discover that other water sources dry. And so now people are able to embrace now other water treatment and new technologies, so that now it supplements the knowledge that they once knew. Otherwise, there is that struggle, but we have learned to accept that also there is something that used to work for them. And here in Africa, in the indigenous setup, you discover those people rarely even get sick. They rarely get sick because they have known the kind of food they take, the kind of water they take. Those old people rarely visit a doctor because they don't get sick. And so we believe that old is still gold, but we have to embrace new things as they come, because pollution has affected what was. And so we also have to embrace the new as well.
And I have another question about this. Do you see the support by the politicians? Do you think that they are supporting you enough, or they are helping enough, or do you feel it's more like a community work?
We usually work with the current local government and county government, because if we do not work alongside them, then they can make your work very difficult. And so initially when someone comes along and thinks you are also political in some way, there is friction. But after they discover you are out just to improve livelihoods of the community members, then now they embrace you and you get their support. And so currently we are working with the county government, and we have their support. And yes, we are happy.
Do you know of any artists, maybe local artists or Kenyan artists or in your field, who deal also with water, or how to tell stories maybe about water, how to teach about the treatment? Is that familiar somehow to you?
Locally, we have artists who are really crying for us to support them, so that their work can be seen. And so they'll sing about the environment, they'll sing about what is happening locally, but they feel like they are just lost in the community and no one knows them. And so every other time, while we are doing our activities, they are like, where is the place of the artist in this? And so they are there. We are really trying, but we've not been able, to expose them, but they are there.
How would you say that we as Occidental countries or activists and artists, how can we help you? What can we do? What can we do to support? What would you need from us?
Or wish?
Maybe maybe 3 things is about information sharing.
Yeah.
We want to get to know what happens at the other end, so that we can incorporate it also in our place. And also, if you can connect us to people who are doing what we are doing, and maybe to publicize what Co-Health and Wealth International is doing. Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
Thank you.
These are 3 realistic points we can do, and we are happy to do. Big thank you for your work that you do, the important work, and please say hello to your colleagues from our side. We greet them, and maybe, we don't know, maybe we see each other in Kenya. Maybe we come to volunteer and help.
You should come. Currently we have someone from Hungary.
Okay.
So you should also come.
We will try. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Verah.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
talk to you. Bye-bye. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.